GM, what's going on, chat? How you guys doing? I think I've it up. I think you guys can hear me well, so I'm not even gonna check it. I'm just in faith that we got this shit locked in. But nah, it's been quite a week, I guess. 'Cause I guess that's when I really kind of hit that burnout point, crash out, and kind of took a little bit of a break for I don't know about 15 and a half seconds. Oh, hold on, let me turn that music down real quick. But we got some things to talk about. So, appreciate you guys tuning in and being early. If you guys want to get some more people into the room, feel free to do so. I appreciate it. I would invite you guys up, but we got a couple things we want to talk about today and get through that. Trying to stick to a schedule. And some people might think it's crazy. Some people suggested maybe I take a break. And, I've been going hard for long enough. And to be honest with you, like, no, there's a couple catalysts that kind of led me to get to that point of burning out, crashing out, all of that. And I don't know. I've always been a builder in public kind of person. Put my shit out there and make it real. And that holds me to a standard. Same thing like when you fight. You say what you're gonna do and you fucking do it. Work really fucking hard up to the point to execute. Well, I think one of the biggest things I've made is not taking my own advice. Something as simple as buying the same token for 4 weeks in a row. Sometimes I only buy one time and I forget about the whole plan and I'm doing something else. I'm losing focus and discipline, and that's a spot that I want to make changes on. I want to step back into the content and stuff that I share. Like if I don't practice what I preach, we're doing just a hypocrite. I'm saying one thing, doing another, and it doesn't serve me at all. If I listen to my own advice, I'd be doing tremendously better off than I am right now, actually. But overall, I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm learning the fucking lessons I need to now, so I don't have to learn them later. That's one way you got to look at it. Again, guys, I did a little bit of a rebranding. I didn't drop Solana Made Simple. I'm not dropping Sei Made Simple. Those are just going to be, I guess, for content. I guess you could look at it. We got Somnia, Skate Made Simple, all of the I don't want to kill it and overuse that. So I did change things up to SMS crypto because we cover my content might get a little different sometimes, might have some other stuff, but it's all going to be crypto related. There's going to be ways that I find how to talk about organize this. But anyway, my point about that is good morning, welcome chat. This is GM chat. I'm SMS, and this is one of the SMS live shows. Typically, we just kind of look at the charts. So we are going to take a look at, but I'm going to be doing this every single weekday, about 5:30 to about 6:30. Go about my day. But we talk about the market. We talk about news, trends, topics, conversation, anything that I tap into, any kind of breaking news with Kaido, because Kaido is something that is should definitely put on your radar. I've had a back and forth, like not sure if I do want to. One thing I will say, there is opportunity in Kaido, and if you were fading that, at least you could say this, even if you never make it on the leaderboard, even if you never get paid out, at least you could say you tried. If you don't, you could say, well, I never even gave it a shot. I don't know what I could have done. And the thing is, when you want to do something, if you half-ass it, you're going to get half-out. But if you really want to try and do something with it, you gotta tell all of your friends, look, dog, you're not putting money in my pocket. You're not in my product. You're not sharing or incentivizing me at all. I got to go where the opportunity is. And this is where the mind's going. I made a post about my bottom line about a week ago to the day, like exactly how I felt about the situation with Say and the content. I was like, I just don't agree with it right now. And I don't know if I want to carry this label. Well, the fucking irony of all that, I do that and it makes an eruption in the timeline. Mind share brings over, and slowly but surely I muted a lot of folks that kind of brought me into the space, just because I honestly didn't think that they were doing me any good. Like a lot of them talked about going this place, another place. They don't talk much. They don't show up at all. And then after that post, the S3 dude Roy, I know he tagged me in one, and I think the fuckers did too. But like they also tried to troll me on the post, and I'm just not gonna do that, because face to face, like, make those corny jokes, and we're not close enough for friends for you to do that first off. The second part about that is like they have my phone number. Clearly, I was going through something a little bit more than just like, oh, let's make some memes and lols. Not one phone call, nothing. It was just they wanted to publicly put me on their show to talk about this 2 days in a row, and I just declined to respond to all of that shit because I'm gonna collect my thoughts and kind of look at it and be like, well, maybe they reach out after the fact and they say like, hey, so it is what it is. Nothing that I'm surprised about. It's kind of what you expect when you're dealing with clicky kind of areas where it's like this is we're the best, we're the greatest, whatever. Maybe they don't act or say it's felt. And I was supporting it too. I was like, yeah, community. But when it comes down to it, it's like I want people like Star Platinum. He hit me up. He's one of them. Sonny hit me up. Bigger names that are doing bigger things, not just doing what they can kind of thing. And I'm not saying that there's not things being done, but you know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. And you got to look at the response. The good outweighed the bad and real kind of opened up. Even, I think it was Gigagen from the Say Network. He reached out on a DM. So, there was real people kind of coming out and saying what's up. And, some of the people wondering if they would mention or say anything. Nothing. And that's not a problem. It's not like you take too much weight on that, but it does tell you a little bit about where you're at. So I would say this to anybody: if you plan on being in this space, be as real as you need to be. People aren't going to like you less or like you more. They're going to like you for who you are at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't know. That was just a complete day. We're going to be talking a little bit more about Bitcoin. It's a little bit calm after the Fed. Solana's still moving. The meme coins are definitely heating up, and we're seeing a little bit more interest on that of things. So definitely, a couple coins I put out when you would have been able to hit like 30 to 40% on them for when we're talking about them. House coin, I still got a little bit of a position in there, but we'll talk all about that. The time we're just going to look at the and we're starting to see some action and conversation with the DeSci sector over. Actually, going to take a look at an article and read through that this morning because that's something I like. It's something when I was in high school, I was a bio student. Running around skateboarding, doing graffiti, playing sports, and not paying attention to anything but the ladies in the hallway. The only class I gave two shits about was one that wasn't mine was art. I would skip class and go to the art room and like hang out with my art friends because that's what we did. But other than that, I had this class called biotech, and I had that for I think 3 years. And it was just sick, dude. We did like I can't remember exactly, but we ran these little scans through this gel that would like read DNA with these little like square things, and you could kind of read the DNA, match them up to things. You look, I don't know, we were lizards and shit. Like it was crazy, but we did test them, not like on the animals. But there was a duck that ate a lizard though because we got too close to each other, and we were just a bunch of high school retards. But biotech was a tight class. The teacher was cool, and that's something that really sat with me. Was like I really like this area. It's called DeSci. That intrigued me. I was like, "What the fuck is decentralized science over here?" But when I started looking more into it, I was like, "All right, well, that's right up. We'll take a look at that and dive into it." But first things first, why don't I just move everything over here? Stop being an idiot. Perfect. Let's see what we got. Well, first, probably should just put my face up so we could see that there's up here, and let's put a chart up here so we could see that. Okay. Mm-mm. Give me one sec. All right, let's get into this thing here. Turn this down just a hair. All right, Bitcoin's at $96,627. If you were buying early 2023, good for you. It's got to believe sometimes, right, mate? All right, 97 was when it pretty much tapped out there. Let's go look at the full chart, and we're just going to take a look at this Solana. We're going to take a little peek at Sei, and then kind of look over at this article while we've got the time. Turn reaction on to express your hand gestures and video call. What? Hand gestures? Playoffs? Playoffs? All right,
guys, let's get into it. Here's the chart. I don't know why. Let me turn myself down a little bit. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to give me a little fucking mixer thing up here with voice changer. Because now got me sitting here having more fun listening to myself talk than actually doing any good.
All right, we're back. My bad. Keep it real. All right, so we've been charting this. We've been watching this. I forget what this line was. I guess this is where I was basically saying this is where the support is right here. It bounced, broke through, rejected, filled the gap. This is the cup handle situation, looking for the rocket back up. And I said, I think we're going to have to staircase and we'll hit each level. So we hit that one right there, tested it, broke through on this leg up right there. Good things happening over here on Bitcoin. Super bullish from this W pattern. I mean, I say we're going for all-time high. It looks nice and healthy situation right here. This is, I think I even said we're gonna have a channel where we're gonna trade, learn how to speak, fucking guy. All right, yeah. So we're gonna have like a little bit of a channel right here. We'll chop through, and once we get through this is where you just start to establish new supports and resistance. That's at $99.6 thousand per Bitcoin. So see where it's chopping, rejecting, bouncing, rejected, bounce, reject, bounce, reject, bounce, broke through, rejected. And this is where you could see it perfectly. Fill the gap, cup and handle, big W overall, rejected this. I mean, it slightly broke through for a new all-time high, but basically rejected. And then it was a sell-off until we got literally. So we went from 110 down to 73-ish, whatever. Just keep those numbers in mind. That's worth noting. This whole sell-off situation here. Just like look at that price, how low it did go. Just keep that in mind. When shit goes south, then this thing's done. This ride slows down. You're gonna want to know where these little levels are, and honestly, I would check this in reference to the breakout, how we've kind of mapped this W all the way out here to this cup and handle situation over here. So charts be charting, bro. Charts be charting. But anyway, all doom and gloom aside, like I said, this is where you're at right here. You got yourself a nice little breakout, reversal, bullish situation. Wherever we decide to, chop, like if this does do that, like we kind of expect we're gonna hold off at like 100,000, and then we're gonna have to test and break through it. This probably will play out similarly. I guess I gotta hold it down, do the damn thing. See what I'm saying? You might want to get to that bullish point, and then I don't know, let it play out over time. But these look good. It's not exact. I don't give a shit about that. I just kind of show you what we got. But is it a buy? Are you buying Bitcoin right now? You know, that's a good question. And that has to be a question you answer for yourself. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. If you believe in Bitcoin and 10 years from now, 15 years from now, shit, 5 fucking years from now. Yeah, why the fuck wouldn't you? You know, I wouldn't be throwing your life savings at it, but if you set yourself up, you say, all right, I'm going to invest 10 grand into Bitcoin or $10 into, I don't care what it is. $10, you might want to just go ahead and buy it all right now and figure out how you may. Hopefully, you have more than $10 next time you go to buy. But if you had like a big amount to spend, let's say 10 grand, for instance, or even 5,000, break it into threes, fives, whatever you're comfortable with, and then break that down. Like if you say Q3 or we're in Q2, right? So let's say you broke it down in fours and you're like, each quarter I'm going to spend 2 grand or a grand into Bitcoin. Well, you could do a DCA for the entire thing, and that'll work out just fine. But if you wanted to pick certain days of the month, or if you're looking at trying to watch the chart and time it, if you're closer or tapping in that way, like whatever works the best for you. But set the amount you want to invest into it so you don't just like, I don't know when I'm just, I mean, unless you perpetually just never stop buying it, then that's cool too, because like you'll probably do fine. And the law of averages when it comes to Bitcoin, like, yeah, you'll have a crash eventually and we'll come back down, and we're probably looking at some of the support and resistance points right now. So, you know, anything 74 to 69K, I guess 69 and up, that's really like, I think we would bounce there. You might get some crashes into 50K, but yo, that shit's gonna be scooped up because people are buying it right now aggressively, like they are. You gotta think that they're praying for that fucking sale. So, yeah, is it a buy? 100%. It has to just figure out your amount, time, whatever. Just do it that way. But it's one of those, like, you know, it's not going to go away just because you have, like, think about it like this: you bought more expensive Bitcoin than somebody else. Like, your Bitcoin technically is more valuable than the other guys. He just his appreciated in value. I don't know. Just also, who gives a fuck? It's your money. It's the best edge on anything right now, I'm pretty sure, right? So go for it. All right, let's switch gears up and take a look at salami. Yo, are you guys farming grass by chance? If not, that's cool, but like you should. And I got like $50 to turn it into 300 something from just holding on to it. And I was like, damn, this shit sucks. And like I looked at it again, I was like, oh, this doesn't suck. This is now much higher than originally intended. So all right, we got, dude, I like trading view, the way that it's keeping my lines is and shit in here. All right. Is this, yeah. All right, so look, check it out. That's what we previously had. This was like where I said, hey, this is where we're bouncing all the way back here. I think you can go back further. But let's take a look at this guy. This is our chart. This is our trend. We slightly broke our trend right here. So, like I said, my shit wasn't super perfect and the chart changed just a little bit, but basically that was your trend. We broke it. And you are technically in a downtrend on the 2 hours. That's why I said earlier that salami is kind of chilling. It's not doing anything crazy. But if you're a little technical fucker, you'll see that we are indeed setting lower lows and trending on the down. Am I a bull or am I a bear? You got to decide that for yourself, but I don't think it's much to worry about, to be honest with you. Let's see. Let's take a look. I'm going to use this area right here. I like this. Let's see where it lines up with this little traffic jam we got. And for you guys that don't know, I mean, there are technical terms and the right words to use if you want to, but don't be a fucking nerd. Not right now. All right, so this is a head and shoulders pattern, and it broke down here, came all the way back down, break down to our huge sell off right here where we bottom, and we hit our reversal, and that's where we started trending up. But take a little look at this here. I kind of squeezed into that. We filled the gap. Did that breakout? Is this our cup and handle? Is that what we're forming here on the 2 hours? It's hard to see it, but you got to like zoom in and change your perspective with it. Again, don't get too technical with it, because this could simply just be looking to bounce right back up here, and it wouldn't take much to, set a new trend if it was to come down to that level right there. You see what I'm saying? So like if it came right down here, you just move this to that. Maybe we'll just leave it there anyway. So that gives you a little bit of an idea. And these lines are hella confusing sometimes. I'll probably delete them all eventually, so we don't have to do this. You get the idea, guys. You got a trend up here. This is your top. You got to break through this to make sure, and keep bouncing on it to make sure we go up to that next level. We're going to be looking at that because you see where it resisted. We're doing the same shit we did right here. We had this giant fucking green dildo to 177, but we said, fuck you. We're not ready for that. We're not built like that. But this could be, if you zoom out enough, you could be, just kind of look at the overall picture of things, guys. We found the support we needed. That's a good. Let's put a little line ski right here. I like that. That looks like a good little area. Healthy little zone. But it came down and it's like a basketball, like crossover behind the back, pump fake, dish it out to Kobe, going for 3. All right, so all we gotta do is get across this hump. I'll just put more lines. I'm just gonna put lines all over the chart, guys. After you get to this point, it's just so hectic. You got zones, you got areas, you got frachis and libby lachis and whatever the fuck these guys. I don't personally give a shit. I'm not gonna say that I hate the idea of like doing this for real and technical and charging people for it. You make money doing it, but it's more fun just doing this, to be honest with you, bro. Maybe that's, never mind. I just said something to myself where it made sense. All right. Well, in honor of this, doing that. Ta-da. And this is the best way you guys could ever learn how to do technical analysis on tokens. This gives you a real world perspective of what this all means. I'm just kidding. No, honestly, just have fun. Is like honestly one of the biggest things that I think in this whole game that we play. Have fun with it. Put rockets in your TA and see if it works. But we're looking to come all the way up here. We want to get these highs again, these 200s. We got to break through these levels right here. We're getting a little bit of resistance, and we see it all the way back here as well. So like this is nothing. It's probably a good point. I can't wait to delete all of these, but look at this top right here where it rejected and it bounced right here. So worth noting, worth taking a look at. If you did a Fibonacci thing, I guess we'll try one. I don't know exactly how these work. Is this the extender retracement? Maybe I'll do a little thing on this because I forget exactly. Trend based Fibonacci. So I think it's bottom high and then parent bottom high. I did this wrong, didn't I? Yeah, that can't be right. Yeah, I gotta watch a video on that again. I don't remember exactly how. Maybe that's the way I gotta do it. Why can't it just give you instructions next to it? Like, oh, you want to do this? Hold on. Trend-based fib extension. We have 15 minutes. Should I just go into the telling you about the trend-based Fibonacci extension? Fuck no, that sounds so stupid. Saying it out loud sounds dumb. We'll look at it another time. We're gonna look at Sei. Thanks for clearing that up with me. I appreciate it. With everything going on with the Sei ecosystem, I got to admit to you guys, this is a pretty healthy looking chart. Like, all of the time that anybody that was in this from, what date is this? Where's my date? Get out of here. From December 2003, like everybody that got into this and they're the OGs of fucking Sei, you have better entries than them right now for everything. Everything that they've built and done and spent, you have better entry and opportunity than they had. They also have exited the chat and gone elsewhere, showing their loyalty, and you have a leg up on that to enter the chat and take advantage of the opportunity. I'm not kidding, bro. I walked into this bitch December and fucking somehow made it to the street team and doing all the shit I'm doing. I don't think they necessarily love me in that heart of hearts over there at Sei, but also don't give a fuck. And I have fun. So that's worth talking about. All right, let's take a look at this chart. It's a pretty fucking simple one to read here, guys. You're at a bottom. The ecosystem's going fucking batshit crazy building. They moved their headquarters to New York. Trump Liberty Group is buying in. TVL is all-time high. They're shipping left and right. You're at the bottom. You're an easy 5x away from $1 right here. Even more so. Just to the most recent high, you've got yourself a 4x damn near. Dude, I'm telling you, you're in a good position to enter here. It's financial advice. You buy it if you want to. I'm not telling you to do that. Just like I'm going to tell you this. You should do your taxes. That's financial advice. You're going to fucking do them or not? You're going to sue me with that? I don't think so. So fucking financial advice on both of them. Do your taxes and take a look at Sei here. Anything under 25 cents is like a gift, in my opinion. Anything right here and lower is a blessing. 25 cents a gift. 30, you're starting to push it just because you're limiting the upside potential here. For the short term, I'm only talking in like the next couple of years. If you're looking like 10 years from now, projections for this is, $10 to $20. With some of the stuff that they're building out here, you could see a world where that happens. Does it mean it's going to? Fuck no. All of this can go to shit. It can evaporate into dust. And some of the OGs will FUD everything like that and tell you, that's what's going on. But I don't know. Pay attention to the creator and the build arounds. See how much FUD they got at that point. All right, so I mean, like I said, there's not much to talk about. You're at hold on. You're at great points of entry. Right here, you're having bottoms right here. Like I said, like you came down here, you bottom, you came up here, you tried to break through this, this top right there. Nope, rejected. Came all the way back down to the breakout point right here. And that's what you're testing right now, literally right here. So I think this is a great point to get in. Yeah, anything lower was a blessing, like I said. So get what you can. Take a look at this is the 4-hour chart. You know, it's trending like it wants to go up. It looks like it's pretty good. There's really nothing you want to, you know, put lines on anything. You want to wait till you get up here. I mean, 34 cents is going to be your biggest, hardest, you know, position to jump through, but also your strongest, because you could see, I guess, you're testing this area right here. You get through this like little choppy area, you'll be bouncing in the 30s and working your way up to $1 in no time. I was calling 50 cents by, let's see what this looks like in this world. July 4th. Where's July 4th? Okay, July 4th. I said 50 cents by July 4th. Do you think we can get here by July 4th? That's got to be a pretty hefty move. Hey, man, anything is possible if you believe it. So let's take a quick look into this article from Eleanor Davies. She's my favorite person at Sei. And yeah, I could listen to her talk about DeSci all the time. Hopefully we get an opportunity to get her on here to discuss decentralized DNA data, exploring blockchain solutions in a new genomic paradigm. Eleanor Davies, Cody Garrison. This is done by Ben Marsh, Cody Garrison, and Eleanor Davies. Again, this is decentralized DNA data. So I'm just gonna read through the article and we'll go from there. Yo, I never once looked at the chat. If you guys are talking in the chat, my bad, fam. I ain't paying attention to shit. All right. This is exciting. We got 9 minutes. We're right on schedule, and I got some shorts. Look, I filmed 5 shorts last night. I have this schedule. I'm using Chat GPT and AI every fucking minute of my day for the most part right now, like just as an assistant. Because fuck Jack Burke from Canary Capital. I know we're following the EST with those guys. Fuck that dude. He said if you got $1 million, he'll talk to me. I want to have $1 million. If you got $1 million and I can just hold it for a minute to have this conversation and fucking slap this bitch in his face, I would love to do that. No, I'm just kidding. No, he definitely he got under my skin in a way that is like a very competitive way, and I'm just talking shit on that level. I personally don't have any ill will towards the guy. He is fucking a little bit of a pussy, because he was like, "Oh, you're harassing me, bitch. I asked you twice for interviews. You fucking closed the chat, didn't say a word back to me. I waited an entire week for the official filing, and then I requested a call again. You sound like a pussy saying, "Oh, you're just harassing me at this point, and you don't have $1 million to sit down and talk." Shut the fuck up. Like, that's stupid as fuck. I just wanted to ask you about this shit. I think there's a lot of people that care about what's going on, their money, and where it's going. And having bitch made people like you controlling it doesn't make me too confident, but hopefully there's smarter people than your jackass self there. But the point is, he was like, you have 1,000 followers and I don't have 1 million or subscribers on YouTube. Well, technically, Jack, I've got 1,100, sir. 1,122 last I checked. So if you guys aren't, go subscribe and leave a comment under this video. It says fuck Jack. Let's go Canary Capital. Very bullish on the staked Sei NST. That'd be fun. The staked Sei ETF. Basically, they're making a stock that's tradable publicly, that's going to serve as staked Sei and proportion to your buy. You can look at all the technical shit on that end if you want to. I'm not here for that. But my point is, he's right. Unfortunately, I only have 1,000 plus fucking people subscribe to me. I'm not as active. I'm not really making it incentive for him to get his ugly ass face on my channel. He's right. He's also right. I don't have $1 million to invest into the Canary Capital or into anything at that point. All of which are possible things. All of which are things I probably would have said last week. Oh, well, yeah, that sounds really fucking stupid. And this dude that's a bitch, personally, and his character, maybe not, maybe he's a good person overall, but his character sounds very bitch made, is talking to me like I'm not good enough. When I know damn well I'd be willing to outwork this guy toe to toe in anything, in any endeavor, fucking swimming or rowing, shit I don't even do. I'm down. But there's another leg to the game, and it's called fucking intelligence, and it's called education, and it's called experience in a world that I have no fucking idea. And that's intriguing to me because I don't like when somebody has a leg up in something that I think is feasibly attainable. So that's what really gave me this push. And I think that things happen in a very serendipitous way where, you know, you burn out a week ago, you kind of see who's here for you, kind of see who doesn't show up, you kind of see who only shows up to defend that they do show up when in fact you don't show up and you haven't said a fucking word since that. So like, you know, that shows more of your fucking character. We're all fucking, we make mistakes. I get it. But yeah, thanks, Jack. I know I talk some shit right now, but it's all in good fun. I would say the same thing if you were across from me and training with me. Um, but it really got me thinking, like, how, who do you think you are? Like, in your echo chamber, oh, you're great. Cool. Do you support it? No, my audience. That's who I need. Like, you guys pulling up to this. You guys are the ones that I got to talk to, not the people that, you know, chirp back and forth on the timeline. It's people that are showing up, the people that are going to see this, the people that are going to share this and be like, yeah, that was an interesting video I watched this morning. This dude's fucking off the rails, but like, you know, go all the way to the end. Yeah, some shit about DeSci and, you know, smokes weed while doing it. So shout out. And somebody close to me recently, so they were disappointed at me because it was something to do with weed, and it wasn't even, they're wrong because whatever they were alluding to, I can't find the picture that was suggested. It was, I don't know, but it's 2025. All right, let's get into this. This is, again, decentralizing DNA data. Genomic data has been referred to as the new gold by ex-23andMe CEO and Wojcicki. Wojcicki? I don't know. And W. We're going to go with that. I want to say Wojak because of like the meme coin. This article will explore relevant technical building blocks that could be incorporated into next generation genomic data platform to illustrate how these technical pieces could come together to serve us as users. Flaws in Web 2 approaches to health and genomic data. At its peak, 23andMe was a flagship name in the direct-to-consumer genetics testing, accumulating around 15 million individual samples. This collection represents one of the largest private repositories of human genetic information ever assembled, with vast implications for healthcare, drug development, and precise medicine. It promised us personalized health insights, ancestry tracing, and eventually a new age of precision medicine with its treasure trove of human data. Side note on that, my father is adopted, and he did this, and we found out our genetic background, at least on his side of things, and gave a little insight into why, who, and what we are. Like, all of this shit is super interesting. If you know anything about it, there is the leak side of things. That's a little security risk. We're going to get into that next. But there are certain vulnerabilities and flaws, however, that a blockchain-based approach solves for that simply based approach solves that for that simply can't be matched in a Web 2 data storage environment. These flaws include security concern. So, data breaches and exploits where access is centralized are ripe for attack. For example, that Change Healthcare ransom attack in 2024 and Oracle Health data breaches in 2025. 23andMe's major data breach in 2023 exposed the fundamental vulnerability of housing sensitive genomic data in centralized silos with a single point of failure. The lack of incentive alignment in traditional Web 2 economic models If you aren't paying for the product or paying, you are the product. Platforms like Epic and Cerner dominate the health data industry through enormous silos of information, sticky provider relationships, and low interoperabilities. Companies like 23andMe generate hundreds of millions in revenue from this data, monetizing it through partnerships with third parties such as pharma and biotech. None of that is valuable, or none of that value is shared with the people who pay to provide it. Lack of composability because of the inherently proprietary nature of data storage and transfer in Web 2. Little focus is placed on the vertical integrations or other opportunities to build on top of the data sets, or to build on top of data sets are missed. Breakthroughs could have been made in under-researched areas, for example, women's health and rare diseases. However, there was no way for developers, researchers, or startups to utilize this resource. This resulted in limited innovation, low utility, and a missed opportunity to create a thriving ecosystem. By embracing blockchain-based model for genomic data, security, privacy, and ethical monetization can be ensured, all while sidestepping some of the pitfalls that doomed legacy models. Blockchain technology has the potential to directly address these flaws. Decentralization eliminates single points of failure. Smart contracts ensure users get compensated for their data. And an open architecture enables innovation from developers worldwide. To create a more secure user controlled genomic data platform, we need specific blockchain capabilities that can be used to build a new gold standard in user data management. Learning from previous failures. Yeah, that read that really weird. Here are some of the key potential building blocks that can make this possible, each solving a critical problem that a centralized model couldn't overcome. Blockchain, blockchain word that I can't say. Solutions. All right, we're almost there. Yeah, we got a lot to read here. Are we gonna get through this? Probably not. We'll try. All right, so on-chain record keeping. Consent isn't a checkbox. It's a cornerstone of ethical genomic ecosystem. By using smart contracts, we can verifiably ensure that every piece of data is used only with explicit permission. In this model, users are opted out by default. Genomic data is only activated when users knowingly and explicitly opt in. On-chain record keeping would rely on a smart contract that serves as a publicly auditable and verifiable paper trail for anyone to refer to. When a user opts in to share their genomic data, their decision is recorded on a transaction or by a transaction on the blockchain, linking their anonymized wallet address to a reference hash of off-chain anonymized data record. God, you guys fucking words. I don't know who wrote that, but I don't like the way you worded it. This framework could provide transparency by allowing a verified participant to inspect the ledger. It would also facilitate automated process such as reward distribution. When data is used, smart contracts could autonomously calculate and distribute rewards to users who have opted in, creating an economic incentive aligned with user privacy and consent. Basically, keep your shit fucking safe and get paid for it. That's it. That's all they're doing, because they're saying that, like, their solution is basically saying, look, these motherfuckers are eating off you and you ain't getting shit out of it. And then they're also fucking not keeping it safe. So they don't give a fuck. Oh. Zero knowledge proofs, ZKPs. Who gives a fuck? All right, ZKPs allow one party to prove something is true without revealing any additional information. Basically, what we just said. Imagine being able to prove that you are old enough to enter a bar without showing your exact birthday. For genomic data, ZKPs solve critical privacy challenges. For example, the research team that receives a batch of genomic data and wants to verify certain characteristics of the data without exposing the insensitive data itself. Using ZKPs, these researchers could prove that all of the data meets some underlying requirements, such as the data belonging to the people with the pancreatic cancer, without exposing the complete individual records for privacy. And you know, that is something that's kind of smart. Not kind of smart, it is smart. Decentralized digital identity schemes, DIDs, can be used alongside ZKPs to let Can the DID ZKPs, this is getting crazy, to let said teams prove their credentials are valid and leave an auditable record on chain that verifies the entity who accessed the data met legal requirements and are authorized to, and were, excuse me, and were authorized to do so. In practice, when a research team requests access to data, they can generate a ZKP verifying the validity of the and compliance of their credentials, which a smart contract on the blockchain can quickly and securely verify to provide immutable privacy preserving audit trail while leaving detailed records securely off chain. Jeez, we are not getting through all of this. This is a lot. Man. Fucking, you guys probably don't give a shit about that part. All right, let's go to product example. All of that, you guys can do your own fucking research. I did a lot of the reading for you. Welcome to fucking life. Product example, on-chain data marketplaces. Having explored these technical building blocks individually from a secure record keeping to privacy preserving computation, we can now examine how they might work together in practice to create valuable real world applications that directly address traditional Web 2 shortcomings. Typically, when you fucking read an article and do any kind of stuff like this, broadcasting, you want to read through it first, but we're doing this raw dog style because that's how we roll, baby. Utilizing the privacy of ZKPs, FHEs, or TEEs, which we did not read about them because we skipped. Do your own fucking research. And transparent record keeping described in this article, DNA data could be decentralized. Imagine a true marketplace for genomic data that operates 24/7 with instant settlement and no unnecessary middlemen. This basically means nobody taking part of the cut except for you and the person that pays for it. This marketplace could align incentives between data providers and users, preserve privacy and security, and reduce overhead costs. Verifiable proofs could be used to prove that a participant meets the legal requirements to take part in an auction on chain, such as meeting any legal requirements and having been vetted by a trusted third party off chain, making it possible to maintain compliance on the data privacy side. On the user side, this would allow for seamless, efficient data monetization where users can choose if and who they sell their data to rather than having a third party do it on their behalf. Basically, like when you're doing the fine print and you're like, you're going to be able to sell this to Instagram, Facebook, yada, 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 it allows you to monetize your information. This is kind of like what it is that is alluding to. In practice, this could look very similar to the on-chain marketplaces of today with advanced KYC and security controls gating access and ensuring compliance. Here's what on-chain marketplace for genomic data could look like in a practice. Supply side. User uploads data. This could be genomics, wearables, biosamples, or imaging data, the aggregation of personal health and wellness data points. In one streamlined encrypted application, the user ID is abstracted away via DID in a wallet. So remember user abstraction with our wallets right now. Jay was just talking about that. I would say same exact concept. It is encrypted and stored in the same blockchain via the FHE and TEE and or the ZKPs. So go ahead and do your own research with them. Probably something you want to know about. If you give a shit about DeSci, users can opt in to license the data to demand side participants. Now the demand side, people that are looking for the data. Possible participants could include biotech firms, contract research organizations, insurance underwriters, and AI researchers. All of these parties interact by a compliant on-chain health data exchange. Purchasing entities can run complex simulations, computation, and analysis on the underlying data set without being exposed to the raw data. Compliance can be baked in from day one, such as all of that, HIPAA, and trusted partners. In the system, users are compensated for their data. Pretty much are just repeating everything that we've said before. It creates a cycle of incentivized to provide more, higher quality. Buyers are able to get the most competitive pricing. Both sides win. Conclusion, we are at a watershed moment that reveals the limitations of centralized approaches to sensitive personal data. By implementing blockchain technologies that address these core flaws, we can create a new genomic data set or data ecosystem with fundamentally different properties: true user control, fair compensation, privacy by design, and open innovation. These technical building blocks described here aren't theoretical. They exist literally right fucking now. They can be assembled into a platform on a highly performant blockchain like Sei to serve both individual privacy and scientific process. You can do basically the same thing on Solana with SPLs. That's what the token 2022 transfer implicates. I think that's how it is broken down. But very similar, maybe a little less clunky here on Sei. Blockchain and decentralized science are offered not just an incremental improvement, but a paradigm shift in how we handle one of the most personal and valuable assets, our genetic code. So, not a bad article to read into. There's some other cool shit in here you might want to take a look at. But stay, do your marketing. Not going to do it for you here. Going to do my own valuable research to share what I see on the market. But Bitcoin's looking pumpy. Solana looks like it needs to make a move. Sei is looking like it wants to get back up to where it should be. DeSci is cooking. We've got some content to post and get to work. Guys, have a good rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in to GM Chat. We're going to be doing these Monday through Friday, 5:30 to about 6:30, give or take. And if you guys ever want to join the conversation, hit me up in advance. Other than that, again, have a good day, guys. Don't be scared to take profits. Don't listen to anybody but your gut. You probably know what you're supposed to be doing anyway. Just make sure you're supposed to be